Welcome to the Deep Dive. You're here because you want to get smart, fast, on fascinating topics, and that's exactly what we deliver.
And today, we're tackling May.
Exactly. May, the 5th month, 31 days, sitting right in Northern Hemisphere spring or Southern Hemisphere autumn, depending where you are.
And it's got its own symbols, right? The emerald birthstone?
Yep, emerald and the flowers, lily of the valley and hawthorn. Astrologically, it straddles Taurus and Gemini.
So, quite a bit just in the basics.
Right. And our listeners, they want the deep scoop quickly and thoroughly. So that's our mission today.
To make everyone surprisingly knowledgeable about May.
Precisely. We've pulled from all sorts of sources fun facts, astronomical events for 2025, cultural festivals from 2024, flower details, history, mental health awareness, the work.
Okay, let's unpack it. Where do we start? Maybe the name itself.
Good call. The name May, it feels like it should have a story.
And it likely does. Most sources point towards the Greek goddess Maia.
Maia, associated with spring, growth.
Exactly. Makes a lot of sense for a spring month, doesn't it? All that new life.
It really does. Though I saw the Roman poet Ovid had a slightly different angle.
Yes. Ovid suggested it might be named for the Maiores, the elders, in Latin.
And then June for the juniors, the younger ones.
That was his theory. Kind of an interesting generational pairing baked into the calendar.
Gives you a little window into Roman thinking. And May wasn't always 5th, was it?
No,
Yeah.
That's another twist. In the really old Roman calendar, it was actually the 3rd month.
Wow. Okay. Total calendar shift.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a different name in Old English, too. Something milky.
Thrimilce, or sometimes Thrimilce.
Thrimilce, what does that suggest?
Well, think about milce. Milk, right?
Or 3 milkings.
You got it. The month of 3 milkings. Apparently the grass was so lush, cows could be milked 3 times a day.
That paints such a vivid picture, doesn't it? It's so connected to the land.
Absolutely. A world away from today, in many ways. And speaking of ancient times, the Romans had flower festivals around now.
They did. Floralia, end of April, beginning of May, honoring Flora, the goddess of flowers.
Sounds colorful, like a big spring party.
Pretty much. So yeah, deep roots in myth and agriculture.
Okay, so let's jump forward a bit. May Day. May 1st. It's more than just the date, right?
Definitely. It carries those ancient echoes, Celtic Beltane, the fire festival, and Roman Floralia again. All about spring's return.
Celebrating warmth, growth.
Exactly. But then it also has this completely different, really significant meaning as International Workers' Day.
Or Labor Day in many places.
Right. Commemorating the fight for labor rights. It actually stems from a pretty tragic event, the Haymarket Affair in Chicago, 1886.
So it's this blend of ancient spring joy and more modern social justice history.
Precisely. And you have those lovely folk traditions, too, like the maypole.
The dancing, the ribbons.
Yeah.
Very medieval European.
Super iconic image of spring community. And then, totally different vibe, you've got Hawaii's Lei Day on May 1st.
Lei Day. Since the 1920s, I think.
Yeah, 1927. Celebrating Hawaiian culture, their motto is just perfect. May Day is Lai Day in Hawaii.
Love that. Okay, so from ancient rites to modern parades, what about nature in May? What's happening outdoors?
Well, like we said, depends where you are. Northern Hemisphere, it's usually peak spring, the last big flourish before summer.
Everything green and blooming.
Right. But flip to the Southern Hemisphere, and May is the start of autumn.
Cooler air, changing leaves. A totally different feel.
Exactly. A global split experience. And up in the sky, there's something happening early May.
The meteor shower. The Eta Aquariids.
That's the one. Our astronomy source puts the peak around May 5th or 6th for 2025.
And it's linked to Halley's Comet, isn't it?
Yeah, which is cool. We won't see the comet itself for decades, but we get this yearly show from its dust trail.
A little cosmic connection.
Right.
And the traditional symbols, the flower and stone.
Right. Lily of the valley is the main birth flower. So delicate, those bell-shaped white flowers. It smells amazing, too.
Symbolizes sweetness, humility.
And the birthstone is the emerald, that vibrant green.
Believed to symbolize rebirth and love. Very fitting for May.
Definitely themes of new beginnings there. Okay, let's talk culture. May is surprisingly packed with celebrations.
It really is. Where do we even start? Cinco de Mayo.
Good one. May 5th. Often mistaken, maybe, for Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah, it's not that. It commemorates the Battle of Puebla in 1862.
Where the Mexican army had this unexpected victory over the French Empire. So it's really about resilience.
Knowing the history adds depth. And then a big one for many families. Mother's Day.
Absolutely. Usually the second Sunday in May in a lot of countries. honoring moms.
A global day, pretty much.
Yeah.
And for pure spectacle, Eurovision.
Yes. The Eurovision Song Contest final usually lands in May. Always. Memorable.
That's one word for it. And Japan has Golden Week, right? Early May?
They do. A whole string of national holidays, late April into early May. Lots of people get a good chunk of time off.
Like a mini break for the whole country.
Yeah, though interestingly, our sources mention something called May sickness in Japan, too.
What's that?
Apparently, sometimes new students or employees, after the initial excitement of starting in April, kind of hit a wall in May. A bit of burnout.
Huh. An interesting side effect of that new beginning period. Okay,
yeah.
Shifting gears. Speed, Indianapolis 500.
The Indy 500, yep. Always held the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend in the U.S. Huge race.
A real American institution. And a sort of unofficial summer kickoff for many.
Totally. Now, our sources also listed a bunch of specific festivals from May 2024. Even though it's past, it shows the variety. Anything jump out?
Vivid Sydney sounded amazing. Lights, music, ideas.
Yeah.
Transforming the whole city.
Yeah, the drone shows, the opera house lit up. Theme was humanity in 2024. Sounds incredible.
And Amatsuri in Kyoto. Very different vibe.
Totally ancient. Heian period procession, May 15th. People in traditional costumes with A leaves. Must be beautiful.
So visual.
What else?
Well, Cannes Film Festival, obviously, mid-May usually.
Yeah.
Huge for the film world.
Glamour, premieres, the whole deal. Then there's the Rocket Festival in Thailand and Laos.
Rockets? Like homemade rockets?
Yeah. Around May 10th, 12th, it's a tradition for good rains, fertile land. Apparently, they launch these big, colorful homemade rockets. Sounds wild.
Yeah, definitely unique. Keep going. What else?
Okay, Akshaya Tritiya in India, around May 10th. A Hindu festival for prosperity, good day for new ventures, buying gold.
Auspicious timing.
Then the Madeira Flower Festival in Portugal, most of May. Flower carpets, parades. A Wall of Hope sounds stunning.
Floral paradise.
Bala Spirit Festival in early May, yoga, dance, spirituality, and the Chung Chao Bun Festival in Hong Kong.
Ah, the bun snatching. I've heard of that.
Yeah, mid-May usually. And Fiesta de las Cruces on May 3rd in Spain and Hispanic America, decorating crosses with flowers.
Lots of flower themes emerging.
Definitely. And looking ahead to 2025, the Seville Fair in Spain, early May. Flamenco, bullfights, those party tents called casetas, like a pop-up party city.
Wow, it's just a whirlwind of global culture packed into 1 month.
Isn't it? Okay, let's switch to history. May's seen some big moments.
Like the Empire State Building opening.
May 1st, 1931, iconic. And a really significant date. May 8th, VE Day, Victory in Europe Day, end of WWII in Europe.
Hugely important.
Yeah.
And the very first Oscars.
May 16th, 1929. Hard to imagine Hollywood without them now.
True. What other historical markers?
Well, something maybe more everyday but huge. Blue jeans. Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis got their patent for copper rivets on May 20th, 1873.
Changed workwear, then fashion forever.
And the Brooklyn Bridge opened May 24th, 1883, an engineering feat.
Absolutely. Our fact list had more too, didn't it?
Loads. First Labor Day, Chicago, May 1st, 1886. Battle of Puebla, May 5th, 1862. Napoleon exiled to Elba, May 4th, 1814.
Titanic's last survivor passing away May 31st, 2009. More recent.
Yeah, poignant. Joan of Arc, May 30th, 1431. Columbus's first voyage funded, May 12th, 1492. First Everest ascent, May 29th, 1953. Apollo 10 launch, May 18th, 1969. Eiffel Tower opening, May 15th, 1889.
It's just milestone after milestone across centuries.
It's incredible. And think about the influential people born in May.
Like Karl Marx, May 5th.
Yep. Florence Nightingale, May 12th. JFK, May 29th. Queen Victoria, May 24th.
A very impactful group.
Oh, and Frank Sinatra, May 12th. Can't forget Old Blue Eyes.
Definitely not. Okay, sports and entertainment in May. We mentioned the Indy 500. What else?
Kentucky Derby, always the first Saturday in May. The Run for the Roses.
Right. And playoffs heating up.
Yeah, NBA and NHL playoffs are usually in full swing, getting towards the finals. And the PGA Championship for golf often happens in May.
So lots of high-stakes games. And Cannes, we mentioned. Any other entertainment milestones?
Our fact list had some gems. Bob Dylan's Bringing It All Back Home released May 17th, 65.
Landmark album.
Huge. Star Wars premiere May 25th, 1977. Changed movies forever.
No kidding. May the 25th be with you, too.
Huh. Elvis Presley's first national TV appearance, May 13th, 1956.
The start of something massive.
And more recently, the first Apple store opened May 19th, 2001. Changed retail.
True. And a big TV moment.
The final episode of Friends, May 6, 2004. End of an era for many.
Definitely a pop culture moment. Okay, let's circle back to those birth flowers. Lily of the Valley and Hawthorn. Tell us more about lily of the valley.
Right. So interestingly, it's not actually a lily. It's in the asparagus family.
Really? Huh, okay.
Yeah. Perennial, those little white bellflowers, super fragrant, symbolizes sweetness, purity, also called things like Our Lady's Tears or Maybells.
Nice names. And myths around it.
Oh, yeah. Linked to Maia's son, Hermes or Mercury, protected by him. Legend says it loved the nightingale song and only blooms when it returns in May.
How romantic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And Apollo supposedly made it as a carpet for his nymphs. It's tied to motherhood, humility, return of happiness.
And the Christian lore. Tears.
Right. Either Eve's tears leaving Eden or Mary's tears at the crucifixion. So powerful imagery.
Wow. Any historical uses?
Well, King Charles IX of France started the tradition of giving it for good luck on May Day in the 16th century. Still happens in France.
It's lovely.
Thomas Jefferson grew it. Used in royal wedding bouquets, Diana, Kate Middleton. Worn at the furry dance in Cornwall. National flower of Finland.
Quite the resume.
Yeah.
But can be invasive.
Yeah. Gotta watch it in the garden. Spreads quickly.
Good to know.
Oh.
Okay, what about hawthorn? The other May flower.
Hawthorn, that's a shrub in the rose family.
Yeah.
White, pink, or red flowers in May, then red berries called haws.
Symbol of hope, I read.
Yes, hope. Its botanical name, Crataegus, means strength and sharp for its wood and thorns. Hawthorn itself means hedge thorn in Old English.
Makes sense. And its folklore is interesting.
Very. Seen as a doorway to the fairy world, linked to healing broken hearts in Celtic lore, used in Greek weddings.
And repelling vampires in Serbia.
Yeah.
With stakes made from it.
Apparently. Also a pagan fertility symbol, but then also bad luck to bring indoors sometimes.
Why was that?
Linked to illness, maybe because its scent was associated with the Great Plague back in the day. A bit grim.
Yikes. Quite a contrast.
But mostly seen positively now. Marks spring turning to summer. Used in May Day garlands. State flower of Missouri, the white blossom.
And practical uses too. Medicinal.
Yep. Used for heart and blood pressure issues. Young leaves and buds are edible. Berries, haws, can be eaten or made into jellies. Wine.
And birds like it.
They do. Food, nesting sites. Shrikes even use the thorns to impale prey. Nature's pantry and toolkit.
Fascinating. So both flowers are much more than just pretty faces.
Absolutely. Steeped in history and meaning. Okay, shifting gears again to something really important and current. Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes. Every May. Started way back in 1949 by Mental Health America.
The goal is really multifaceted, isn't it? Educate, raise awareness of treatments, fight stigma.
And celebrate recovery. That stigma part is so key. It stops people asking for help.
It really does. So having this dedicated month is vital. Why is it so significant, really?
Well, it helps people understand the impact of mental illness, first off, on individuals, families, communities.
Makes it visible.
Exactly. It highlights available services, empowers people to advocate. And just talking about it openly helps break down those walls of silence and shame.
Encourages people to reach out, build support.
And it educates caregivers, friends, family, helps them offer better support. Plus, it's a focus for fundraising, outreach, research.
All crucial. And who benefits? Is it just those directly affected?
No, I mean, ultimately, everyone benefits from a society that understands and supports mental health better. The stats are pretty sobering.
Like nearly 1 in 5 U.S. adults has a mental health condition each year.
Roughly, yeah. And specific conditions, anxiety disorders affect millions, depression millions more, PTSD, bipolar. The numbers are huge.
So when we increase understanding and support, it lifts the whole community.
Precisely. It builds a healthier society for all of us.
So what can people do? How can listeners get involved?
Lots of ways. Participate in events like MA Walks or MHA's campaigns. Contact local organizations, see if they need volunteers or support.
Starting conversations helps too, right?
Absolutely. Talk to friends, family, colleagues. Educate yourself on the issues. And if you know someone struggling, just reach out. Offer support. Listen without judgment.
That can make such a difference. And there's the crisis line, too.
Yes, crucial. The National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Just call or text 988 if you or someone you know needs immediate help.
988. Got it. Okay, thank you for covering that so thoroughly. It's incredibly important. Let's quickly look up astronomy for May 2025.
Right. We mentioned the Eta Aquariids peaking May 5th, 6th.
And then the full moon on May 12th is a special one.
A micro flower moon. Flower moon is the traditional name for May's full moon. Micro because it's near apogee, its farthest point from Earth, so it looks a tad smaller.
Ah, okay. And the new moon.
May 27th. Best time for stargazing, No moonlight interference.
And something called Earthshine nights around the start of the month.
Yeah, April 30th, May 1st. Best time to see that faint glow on the dark part of the crescent moon. Sunlight reflecting off Earth onto the moon.
The Da Vinci glow. Cool. Okay, almost done. Any final quirky facts from that big list we missed?
Let's see. April showers bring May flowers, the classic saying.
Captures the season perfectly.
We covered Mother's Day, Memorial Day in the U.S., honoring soldiers, unofficial start of summer.
May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day.
Yeah, forget that. And it's National Bike Month and National Garden Month in the U.S.
Fits the May feeling.
Zodiac signs crossing over Taurus into Gemini.
Whoa.
Oh, and the first ever spam email was sent in May 1978.
Huh. A less celebrated historical first, perhaps.
Definitely less celebrated. Well, that really was a deep dive, wasn't it?
It really was. We went from the goddess, Maia, and Thrimilce.
Through May Day's dual nature, Lay Day.
Natural phenomena, meteor showers, emeralds, lilies.
Global festivals, Sydney, Kyoto, Cannes, Thailand, Madeira.
Historical milestones, VE Day, Blue Jeans, Brooklyn Bridge.
Influential birthdays, sports moments, Star Wars, Friends ending.
The deep lore of Hawthorne, the crucial focus on mental health.
Astronomical events, and even the birth of spam.
It's honestly staggering how much is packed into this one month. Bridging seasons, full of life and history and culture.
It really underscores that May is far more than just 31 days on the calendar.
Absolutely. So, for everyone listening, after hearing all this, the ancient roots, the modern events, the natural cycles, what part of May feels most relevant or surprising to you right now?
Yeah, how did these different threads connect to your own experience?
Maybe something sparked your interest, a tradition, a historical note, the mental health focus. We hope you'll think on it, maybe explore it a bit more. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into May.